What's up, everybody? It's your favorite anarchist, favorite nerd, and today we are looking at the Iron Factory Chaos Raven, which is their take on the Fallen, IDW styled per usual. This is all known to me from Robert D. He has a ton of accessories, which is par for the course with Iron Factory. I'm excited about taking a look at them. I'm excited about seeing everything integrated. So let's waste no further time and show you how everything's integrated, but we'll start with accessories. He comes with 2 additional sets of hands, left and right holding hands and left and right posing hands. That's in addition to the 2 fist hands that you saw in the opening footage. Now he also comes with a gun. It's got some purple paint on it, and I think that's it, but it's sculpted well enough, and these little side pieces will open up here as well. He'll hold that just fine in his holding hand. It'll plug into a port on his forearm. You can also plug the gun into the back, this little orange piece, and then that can flip up over the shoulder. Now he comes with these 2 weapons with this metallic paint on top and this translucent plastic that's like the orange from the cape. And this thing, it breaks apart into a number of sections, and you can kind of, I'm not going to do too much of it because there's a lot of translucent plastic and I certainly don't want to cause any harm. But you can kind of mix match and put stuff together using the male and female ends of it all as you see fit to kind of build your own weapon, which is kind of cool. And it comes apart like in a number of different spaces, and then even comes with an additional kind of end to it. So a lot of options here. And you can hold both of these just fine by kind of breaking apart the section, sliding the handle through the fist, kind of like Figwarts does or Figma does from time to time, and then closing them back up. So he comes with a cape, as all super cool bad guys have, and it is a really well done cape for what it is. It is yellow translucent, but it's faded and shaded from the top to the bottom, with almost going from a brown to an orange. I guess it's more of an orange translucent, to be fair. I don't know why I said yellow. And it looks good. And obviously these 2 side pieces articulate, so you can get a little bit more sauce out of it, and you can hinge it backward as well, so all of that works well. Now, in order to utilize this, you have to pull out these rear tracks here, which I'll tell you does not make me comfortable, but you pull it out, so to speak, and then these 2 tabs go into the lower section, and these 2 tabs go in right behind his shoulders, and you got yourself a cape wearing bot. Now you can also remove the cape entirely from the back plate and just have a cleaner side profile if you'd so desire. So let's take a look at the figure. So the head, we have dead eyes. Unfortunately, it's not, maybe it is light piping. Poor choice. It looks dead, and it's too dark of a figure to have that sort of situation going on with the eyes. We have the purple paint for the crown, and then I can't tell if it's a darker color for the faceplate or not. It's on a ball peg. You get down to there, up to there, because it's on a hinge as well, which you'll see during the transformation. And a swivel, confused dog look, etc. So it works fine. That's the good news. We have a hinge at the base of the shoulder that comes out to a ball peg at the shoulder, using both along with the shoulder pad that articulates independently on the shoulder. Using both, you can get the arm almost all the way up and around. And a little bit of a butterfly because of how it articulates on that ball peg that sits a far piece, as it were, out from the chest or center mass, as it were. We have a bicep swivel. It is right above the elbow, and we have I'll make sure I say this right. I think it's just a single hinge elbow, but you get a little bit past 90 degrees. We have swivel for the hands, and they hinge in and out only on the holding hands, which are the ones that you need for the transformation. Deco wise, I think this might have a finish to it, this black. I'm pretty sure. So throughout. And then we have the orange translucent to break it up, which looks good enough. Same for the other side. We have a waist swivel. No ab crunch. We have T-jointed ball joints for hips that get you out to about, actually, you might be able to get a little bit more. There. So full Monty, and then get that out of the way. Decent, not great. Yellow paint that looks great. Orange translucent that looks great. Silver paint on the abdomen that looks great. Purple paint that looks great. Deco wise, it's beautiful. Knee. It looks like it's a single hinge. It gives you a great range. And then we have tons of deco down here, the silver, the purple, all of that. Translucent plastic breakup. Looks fantastic. I don't have this pegged in. There we go. Ankles, we have an ankle tilt down, an ankle tilt up, and a pretty ridiculous rocker. So no issues there. And there he is from the back, obviously without the cape. It's pretty well done. Size comparison wise, there it is with our Legends, our Stunticon from the Hasbro series, and then an old Iron Factory. And of course, there he is with Tarn. All right, so let's get him transformed. Unpeg these two tracks from his back. They peg in right there, and then you can rotate his head down. On the forearms, there's a small square flap. Flip that up. Make sure that you have the weapon holding hands, and they'll hinge down, and then you can put the flap back down. And same for this side. Flip that down. Take the knee pads, bring them out, down, accordion them towards the shin. Tuck your heels in, and you can kind of angle your toes down, and you can take these flaps and flip them towards the bottom, and you can also bring this pelvis piece down betwixt the legs and through to the other side. Then take the leg and collapse it down, Combiner Wars style, into the lower leg on both sides, and then once you have successfully done that, you can bring them together, and the two flaps that you flipped in on the inner part of the legs will connect, and then just tighten up what you got. Take these tracks, they're on a double hinge, bring them down so that they sit further towards the back of the bot, and they'll peg in again. Make sure your shoulders are out of the way. Unpeg the chest, and then bring this whole entire shoulder assembly towards you, if you can. And then back down. And then you can bring your arms, well, just get them out of the way, really. Now, my backpack fell out, so we'll put that back in. And then we need to bring this up to the sides, flip the chest up. I think the head stays down like that. I'm not entirely sure, honestly. Flip the chest up, and that'll tab back in. And then there's a little peg here on the sides of the tracks. They come up and tab in to the side in order to kind of correctly orient the tracks. And now you have them both at the bottom, right? All right, so you're pretty much left with this. Let me angle the camera down, and then you have your gun. You do have to flip this back part out. I didn't mention that when I went over the gun. You have to flip that out. Now, when you get to this point, you have to take the adapter that allows you to plug it into his back or shoulder, the gun piece, so to speak. Take that out so that this tab will go into that hole, so to speak. And then you put this, and this has perpendicular slots or tabs here that go into those perpendicular slots. And then you just get it all lined up and bring it over. The shoulders tab together and the forearms tab into the cannon. And once you got it cleaned up, which I don't, but I'm gonna fake it like I do, then it'll look somewhat like a tank. I'm gonna get it cleaned up, we'll take a look at it. So you have this, and honestly, this feels a lot like the Sound Blaster we just looked at recently, where it doesn't feel like the juice is worth the squeeze to me. Like, it's kind of, most of these tank modes end up being more suggestive than anything else, right? Especially the Cybertronian ones. But it's like, and then you can use these 5mm tabs here for all sorts of extra weaponry that he doesn't come with, but that you might have left over in another box. But it's, like, it doesn't roll, it doesn't look great. You can get the tank bit up like this, and then you can kind of angle it in different directions, and that engineering is cool. I'm just not sure that this is entirely effective in what it's trying to do or be. It looks interesting, but it also kind of looks messy and it looks like it has a lack of purpose. Unless, of course, your purpose is to put them next to Tiger Tracks. Final thoughts-wise, let's talk about the negatives. Once again, it comes down to the alt mode and the engineering that it takes to get from the robot mode to the alt mode. It's clumsy, it's cumbersome, and then the final finished piece doesn't look finished at all. In fact, it doesn't look purposeful or complete. And the instructions aren't that great either for the transformation, I have to say. But yeah, that's really the only bummer of this thing. Well, to be fair, the hips are a little limited in articulation as well. But there's plenty of positives, though. It is articulated for the most part very well. Per Iron Factory usual standard, it is sculpted and painted beautifully. beautifully. That's what always saves their pieces. They are sculpted and painted to the nines all of the time. And the tolerances are pretty good, which is hit or miss for Iron Factory. So that too is an improvement overall. So this is where I kind of put this. Oh, the accessories are plentiful and beautiful. I should mention that as well. This is where I kind of put this thing. If you love this character, you're gonna love this figure. If you're kind of on the edge, you love Iron Factory, but you don't necessarily love this character or feel any way about this character, I don't think there's gonna be enough here to really satisfy you. So I think whether or not I would recommend this would totally depend on the character. Sometimes I buy stuff from companies that I love because I just love their work, and I'm like, oh well, they make a good toy, I like what they do, I'm just gonna support them, and you know, I'll find a place for them. And then sometimes I'm satisfied. This would be an example where I wasn't. But if you love the character, I think that you'll be pretty happy with the result. Thanks for listening, thanks for watching, until next time, take care.